How's it going? It's me, Cullan, and welcome back to another Cullan Recommends. This is the second one, and it's less organized than the first. I just knocked down a light back there. Alright, anyway, if you've seen the first Cullan Recommends, you understand what's happening, but if you didn't because only 200-something people saw it, let me explain. This one's gonna be a lot shorter first off, but basically I just go through a bunch of things that I've been interested in recently that I don't think have enough recognition that I think you should check out. Also, this time I'm only gonna do one thing of each category because last time it went on way too long. It's like an hour-long video, and that was just, no one has time to watch an hour-long video, so I'm only doing one of each category. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to the game. The game is fun. If it's not fun, why bother? In this game, I think it's pretty fun, though it's not really out yet. The game I'm talking about is Pray for the Gods. Now, Pray for the Gods has been in development since, I think, 2015? I might be wrong because I didn't do any research for this video, but Pray for the Gods is basically, to boil it down, kind of a clone of Shadow of the Colossus, but it's a very good one. I'm personally a Kickstarter supporter for this game, and I believe it's in either open or closed beta right now. I believe my thing was that I got to test the beta, so I played the beta a little bit. Honestly, I haven't played very much of this game. I've just been very busy, so I apologize for that. But what I played was really promising. Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time, and you know, even though it really is almost ripping off, they do it in their own style. The setting is beautiful. I love the snowy setting that they have, and I'm just a sucker for Shadow of the Colossus, so I'm so happy to get basically more of that game. And I think they have a lot of really interesting stuff to come. And also, this game is made by a 3-person dev team. They've done all of the coding, all of the art, all of the modeling. Everything is done by those 3 people. So that is absolutely amazing that they're making a game of this caliber. It's amazing to see what indie is becoming, how indie is reaching the same standards that AAA is. I think that's pretty amazing. The next category is TV shows. If I seem a bit tired in this video, that's mainly because I stayed up until 1 AM last night finishing Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Umbrella Academy is based off of a comic by the same name created by Gerard Way and someone whose name I can't remember. It follows, and sorry because I have to think while I'm talking and that doesn't go well, so I'm gonna do a lot of and stuttering here. It follows a family of superhero kids who were raised by a billionaire who basically adopted all of them and brought them together to create a apocalypse crime-fighting group. There are 7 kids in total, but only 6 of them have powers. But basically, it's about them now as adults coming together for their father's death and just kind of mysteries that are unfolding around the same time and how they have to deal with it. Let's see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me get this. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dog. That's the look. So I'll admit, this show actually has a lot of flaws. The writing is a little bit meh at times, the pacing is a little bit meh. The acting is actually pretty solid overall, but there are some weak performances here and there. And just overall, I wouldn't say it's an amazing show, I would say it's just good. But honestly, I can't even really criticize it for that because it feels disingenuous because I really, really enjoyed watching the show. I'm a giant sucker for superhero stuff, be it Marvel, I was gonna say DC, but no. But like, be it Marvel or other, I really love superhero media, especially in live action senses. So this one was really cool because it was less focused on their superpowers and more of them as people, and just, it's a little bit different than your average superhero show. It's dark, but it's not like dark and brooding and all fuck Batman, you know? There's a lot of lighthearted moments, a lot of lighthearted scenes, and there's a lot of really, really lovable characters. So if you're into superhero things and that sounds like something you may enjoy, please check this show out. And next up, the movie category. Now, I haven't been seeing a lot of movies recently. I've been very busy with school and playing video games. But a movie that I saw a while ago that I really, really loved, and I don't think enough people saw, was a movie called Bad Times at the El Royale, or Bad Times at the El Royale Hotel. I think it's just El Royale. But anyway, this movie is very interesting because it's kind of everything I really like about Quentin Tarantino without the things I don't like about Quentin Tarantino. That's not completely true, but let me expand on what that means. So first off, this movie is told It has that storytelling style of it goes over the same events multiple times from different angles so you completely understand the story, and it's not really told in a linear fashion. So I personally enjoy that type of storytelling. It's not for everyone. Also, it's very violent, and the violence is stylized. I mean, it's not, you know, like just blood everywhere. Well, it is, but it's kind of upbeat and stuff, which is something else I really like. Not really glorifying violence, but it's hard to explain. But anyway, this movie's really interesting because of the setting, which is a hotel in a very specific time era, and it has a very specific feel and look. This hotel is between a state line, so each side has a completely different feel, and it's a giant, elaborate place, which makes an amazing set and an amazing, you know, area for the story to unfold, because it all takes place in that hotel in one day. It follows a bunch of strangers as they all show up at different times with their own secrets and how their stories end up intertangling. I just had a brain fart on what to say. So this movie's really good if you kind of like Quentin Tarantino stuff. This one doesn't really have the foot stuff or the racism that's usually in Quentin Tarantino movies, so that's a plus for sure. Also, it doesn't take itself that seriously. Also, Chris Hemsworth shirtless. Need I say more? No. Moving on to comics. So for this comics recommendation, I am recommending the book Seconds by Brian O'Malley. Now, if this name, or the author's name, or the art style seem at all familiar, it's very likely that you've already heard of this author. And that is because this is the same person who wrote and did the art for Scott Pilgrim, the comic series, not the movie. That would, well, technically he did kind of write the movie, but anyway, semantics. So this is a completely different story. Here, I'll move over so you can actually see it. There we go. This is a completely different story from the same author that is really interesting. Now, it's shorter than the original Scott Pilgrim, you know, because the original Scott Pilgrim was multiple copies. Well, this one is just one contained book, but it tells a very enjoyable and cohesive story. It's a very good read, and the art is absolutely wonderful, if you can see any of this at all. There we go. But the use of colors and everything is amazing. So of course the art is really good, but also the storytelling is really good. It follows a girl as she tries to open her own restaurant. It's a very basic premise, but it goes very far. So she's trying to open her own restaurant, and basically she kind of falls into magic BS with mushrooms and house gremlins, and basically everything kind of goes to shit, and it's all her fault. So basically this is a really interesting story for, you know, just a character analysis. Kind of like Scott Pilgrim, the main character is extremely flawed, and their flaws are the entire catalyst for the story's you know, narrative, for its conflict. It's entirely based around the main character, and even though a lot of the conflict becomes out of the main character's, or, you know, it's out of the main character's hand at points, it is very much based around them and their flaws. So it's very much a story about the betterment of self, as well as it's just really fun to read, because if you've read Scott Pilgrim or seen the movie, you know how fun this author's writing is. Brian O'Malley is just such a fun read. Anything he makes, I highly recommend. I completely forgot that I usually include a YouTuber in these things, so I'm gonna real quick go through my subscriptions and try to find one. All right, I actually found a channel that I kind of already wanted to talk about, so that worked out well. So anyway, for YouTube, I recommend Snapcube. Now, Snapcube is actually a partner channel to a bigger channel. I don't remember the bigger channel's name, but it's like the gaming channel, but don't go away yet, it's not Let's Plays. They do have Let's Plays, but they have a very specific series on there that I highly recommend. It's called Real-Time Fandubs, and they've done 2 at this point. No, they've done more, but the 2 that are blowing up now, you've probably seen them on Twitter, is they did a dub of Sonic Adventure 2, and they did a dub of Spider-Man. And right now they're working on a dub of Sonic X. If you've seen the videos of Eggman yelling about Shadow's penis, or how he's gonna pee on the moon, or he has a bunch of alternate accounts, that's from that. It's basically an improv troupe gets together online and goes over these scenes from video games, takes out all the dialogue from the game itself, and dubs over them with their own voice, creating their own story. As someone who does improv, this is really interesting to watch and learn from, because it's completely verbal, so it's very interesting to see how they can build a story without the physicality that most improv has, as well as having to build a story with these other facial expressions that they have to work with. There's a lot of improv games that are like this, like like movie dub, where one person will be talking and another person will be acting. So it's a very cool thing to watch as someone who's into improv, and also it's goddamn hilarious. It's very funny. That's all I can say about it, really. It's funny as hell. They have running gags that are wonderful, and they're all really, really talented improv artists. So if you want a good laugh, I believe they're all about like an hour long. Like one's an hour and a half. So that's basically a movie and it's basically a movie's worth of laughing. So if you have some free time and need some laughs, I highly recommend that. And that's all I have for this video. I know it was really short and I apologize for that, but I'm working on some more videos right now. I know you probably don't care because I'm not like a big YouTuber who has a schedule, but if you're someone who's like enjoyed some of my past content, then like working on stuff, that's all you need to know. I mainly made this video just because I wanted to test out recording with this lens as well as lighting, because I thought it would be fun. Also just because I wanted to test putting my face on screen more. I kind of want to start doing this more where my face is on screen, and I know it's not very presentable right now. I haven't styled my hair in any way today. I didn't even wash it. I'm riddled with acne, which I doubt will change anytime soon between recordings, and I'm out of breath, and just all of this is not very good. But I wanted to practice putting myself on camera because I want to do it more, especially a lot of the ideas I have right now. Am I even in focus? I am in focus. A lot of the ideas I have right now involve me being on camera, so I wanted to practice it and work on liking my face more because I'm not a fan of it. So anyway, I guess that's the update. Thank you for watching this video. If you found a recommendation from any of these things, feel free to tell me in the comments because I would love to hear your thoughts on it if you watch any of them. And if you already partook in these things, feel free to leave a comment down below on how you feel about them. If you disagree with me, that's fine. If you agree with me, that's also fine. I hope you have a wonderful day. Other YouTuber things, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, support my Patreon, support my coffee, and support my saggy nutsack. I'll see you in the next video.